Brad, what sustainability practices have you initiated on your operation?
So cover crops have been huge for us. About 75% of our acres each year are in some sort of cover crop. We started just with rye about 10 years ago, and then we've seen the benefits of that. And now we've expanded the crop blends, what's going to corn, what's going to beans. So cover crops have been very good for our farm and very profitable for our farm. And then now we started strip tilling last year. So we've all of our corn acres now are strip tilled. We went to, if we can 2-pass strip till, we're going to 2-pass. We're going to do P and K in the fall, and then come back and do some nitrogen in the spring to create that nice seed bed, and just so the nutrients are there for corn as well. And then variable rate, every from planting to fertilizer to side dressing, at least 3 variable rate passes a year, and that's to me that's probably the most profitable thing for us, because like we talked earlier, there's no reason to put the same amount of fertilizer on each acre when some of those acres can't produce what the highly productive acres can.
You made a statement that I have farmers questioning me on. Cover crops have been profitable for you. What's the payback? Because usually I got to pay for the seed and I got to pay for the planting. How does the cover crop make me money?
Well, when you only have, if you can no-till in the right conditions in the spring and you only have 1 pass, you save 2 or 3 passes across the field. Okay. Have these guys price a deep rip. I mean, what's it cost you per acre to go out and buy that $100,000 ripper and then run it across that? I mean, yeah, fuel's cheap now, but you still have time, you still have horsepower to pull that. We put cover crops on with rolling baskets. We've flown them on. Our best beans we've ever raised have been no-till behind rye, and that's just it's just work for us. Now this year, the last 2 years, we've had challenges, but we still raised. I mean, we had 60 bushel beans planted June 28th last year, and
wow.
that doesn't. I mean, it's just crazy. We stopped planting, and we never should have stopped planting. But we've had we completely changed farms around. One of our toughest farms averaged mid 40 beans on it. We go beans back to beans. This would have been 3 years ago. Beans back to beans with rye in between it. It goes from 48 up to 68. Okay, we get wet again. Put rye in between the beans again. So for beans 3 years in a row, their yield's supposed to go down. We still have that. Was last year. Then we pulled 60 bushel beans off that again, planted June 28th. So we've changed our toughest crop by not, and it hasn't been chiseled. We used to chisel it every year just to do everything we can to try to loosen up that soil. But just by making that little change to a cover crop, in 3 years, the farm has completely changed. Now it's got a beautiful corn crop on it. It probably could be the best corn that farm's ever raised. So just changing that's how cover crops have paid us money, by doing less with more. That's kind of one of the things I say with Lee. We got to be able to do less with more. Or I'm sorry, more with less. More with less. I'm sorry, I said it wrong first.
It's like making lemons out of lemonade. Actually, I never used that phrase. Never mind. It's very complicated. So, but that brings up an interesting question. When do you terminate, or how do you terminate your rye? Do you terminate it after you seed or before?
Yes.
Lee starts nodding. I kind of knew what the answer might be.
Well, I think it's been a challenging 2 years for cover crops. It's been a challenging 2 years for cover crops. Last year, I planted beans 1 day in May. We worked 1 day in May last year. Everything else was done. We didn't plant corn until June 1st last year. Wow. And we had cover crops standing. We had rye that went to full term. We didn't have to kill the rye because it made it through term. It pretty much matured. So we just rolled it down. I mean, it was just, we've done everything. We've actually started to work some rye, to work some cover crops in. We got some beautiful corn this year from just work cover crops in. And it's made whether it's decomposing faster or what, but that corn hasn't stressed at all. And we've actually seen a benefit from working that green cover crop under, not even spraying it. So we've kind of taken every aspect of possible to these cover crops, because you have to have a backup plan, because if you can't get a sprayer in there, we went to an ATV sprayer this year to kill some cover crops early when it's not wet, when it's not fit to get a big one in there. But yeah, we like to terminate. If the perfect storm, we terminate early when that cover crop's about a foot tall. That way we can come in and plant a week later, and it just makes a nice seed bed.
Yeah, in Europe they're using tillage termination. Waterstad's got a machine that runs through and goes about an inch that deep across that cover crop, so it doesn't really do anything else. It's just really chopping up the cover crop. Then you can plant right into it. And then it doesn't matter. I mean, you can really get in there, right? And you can run the planter right behind that monster. So on 56 fields, never mind. That's a different story. But I mean, people ask that question, you know, about cover crops, and I think you brought up a good point. If I got 2 or 3 less passes because all I got to do is spray and plant, or maybe a quick run through and plant, because if you've got good tilth, and your seeder's going to run, your planter's going to run through there pretty clean, right?